Alright, welcome to this video. This is Jonathan Belcher. In this video, what I'm going to be talking to you about is my thoughts on the healthcare system. And this is really a topic that we can go on and on forever about. I think we've all have had our fair share experiences with the healthcare system. And once again, before I start, I do want to say that not everybody in the healthcare system is bad. Not everybody in the healthcare system is evil. But there are some people in high places in the healthcare system pulling strings, and it's trickling down to the regular everyday people, even to the point where the healthcare workers aren't even realizing in some ways how they can be inhumane. So I'm gonna share with you a post that I saw the other day on Facebook that really inspired this video. And it really made me think, because this past year I actually lost two of my dogs. Well, the only dogs that I had. I had a pit bull and I had a Shih Tzu. And it's funny, imagine in America, they care more about dogs and animals than they do about humans. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really an arguable thing. Like, you can really argue that America cares more about animals than human beings. But even with the vet this past year, it was crazy, like the stuff I had to deal with, and with the vet and seeing my dogs basically just lose their health, and it all being because of misinformation, the holding back of information, things of that nature. And that resulted in, both my dogs passing. But all in all, I mean, anything that's alive at some point is going to pass on. So we got to expect that. I understand that. But at the same time, it's like what the vets were doing when it came to my dog, it's like they were dangling this carrot in front of us. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they give you this hope that they can do successful surgery. Because my pit bull passed first, and basically she had a mask over her heart, and that mask over her heart had to be removed, so they had to do emergency surgery. But that emergency surgery was like, I mean, crazy. Like, I'm talking about almost $10,000 for this emergency surgery, where they were gonna basically peel the mask from off of her lungs, because basically somehow the mask got connected to her lungs, or it grew over her lungs or something like that. So the surgeon, whoever the surgeon, the vet is who does surgery on the dogs, they had to remove that. And thank God for my mother-in-law, because not my mother-in-law, thank God for my stepmother, because she was nice enough to take care of that situation. Then we brought the dog back home, walked the dog, and the last walk we gave the dog came back in and just took its last breath and died. And this is literally just hours after picking up the dog from the vet, and they were saying she's in 100%, she's feeling much better now, she's doing much better, her breathing is good now. And it's like, there's no possible way the dog was at the vet for 2 days, for 48 hours, and y'all didn't see that her breathing was getting bad. Like, you could literally see the blue around her lips. Like, my dog was like having a hard time to breathe, couldn't get oxygen because this whatever surgery they did. Now, I'm not saying that vets and doctors can't make mistakes, but what I am saying is that for the cost and the price that you're charging people, it's better to be honest and to be straightforward, especially if you're talking about multiple thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like, healthcare is not cheap. So it would have been better if they would have just said, honestly, this dog in this condition at her age, it's a very slim chance that she'll make it, and then I think we would have had a better evaluation of the situation and been able to go at it differently. All in all, we probably would have still did the surgery, because we want the dog to live. The dog almost becomes a part of your family kind of thing. So I'm seeing this. I've experienced this with 2 dogs in the past year with vets, not even talking about with people, not even talking about with actual with real doctors and stuff like that. Now vets are doctors for dogs, I understand that, but you get what I'm saying. I'm talking about doctors for people. This, what I'm about to share with you, I'm about to share with you a status from this young lady, and I'm so happy she shared this, because I felt the same way in a lot of ways. You know, I was able to connect with how she was feeling. But before I share that real quick, I just want to, actually, I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share with you right now. So here's the post that was shared. It says, she said, USA healthcare is really the saddest thing ever. Like, I am a fortunate person, and if I can't even afford to go to the doctor, God bless those less fortunate than me. Hundreds of dollars just for them to tell me to take an Advil no matter what symptoms I have. So hundreds of dollars spent, and you haven't even gotten to taking care of the person yet. And this reminded me a lot of what I experienced with my Shih Tzu this year. So 3 months after my pit bull died, my Shih Tzu actually passed away. And what happened with my Shih Tzu was, we were taking him to the doctor like over and over again. I was taking him to the doctor like I was taking him to the doctor every so often, like every couple months. And so they were seeing the track record of my dog and his health conditions and all of that stuff. They were seeing they had all the records. And what I noticed is, like, I would go take the dog to the doctor. They would run all these tests, right? They run all these tests. Then they see what's wrong and what's not wrong. And then from there, now the test in itself sometimes is like $1,000 or hundreds of dollars just for the test. You didn't even go into helping the dog yet, just to know what's going on. It's hundreds, almost sometimes thousands of dollars. So, all right, cool. Then the next phase is when they tell you what's wrong, they got to prescribe medicine for you. And the medicine is thousands of dollars. You get what I'm trying to say? So, not thousands of dollars. The medicine is hundreds of dollars usually, not thousands of dollars. So, this vet kept telling me that the Shih Tzu had problems with his prostate. She kept saying he has an inflamed prostate. Kept telling me my dog has an inflamed prostate. He has an inflamed prostate. So, of course, naturally, I'm doing research on inflamed prostates because I want to find out if there's some alternative ways that, you know, I can help the situation. So she said she recommends neutering, but, you know, there were mixed reviews about that. But anyway, what ended up happening was I ended up buying this homeopathic substance for my dog to help his prostate, which it actually did help his prostate. His prostate, we went back to the doctor and they said that his prostate was getting smaller and he wasn't in pain from it anymore. But yet and still his symptoms were continuing on. He still had the symptoms of you know, urination problems. You know what I'm saying? So what I started to realize what was happening was every time I would go back, they would rerun the same tests on the dogs. They wouldn't pull old data from an old situation. Like, let's say I took the dog two months ago and that they ran tests on the dog and they found out a problem. If I came back 2 months later, they'd want to run the same exact test on the dog instead of just giving me the medicine of what I need to solve the issue. You get what I'm saying? So what happened was we solved one issue, but while she was telling me the issue was his prostate, we solved that issue. She didn't tell us the other issue that he was dealing with, which was his kidney, which was blaring. The signs were blaring. If you were a doctor, if you were a vet, you would know automatically that the dog had kidney problems. You would know that immediately. So I'm like, why the hell, all them times we brought the dog to the vet, why wouldn't they tell us anything about his kidneys? Here I am, I'm buying only things to help his prostate, but there's no focus on his kidney at all. And as he was getting worse and worse, I'm realizing that, oh wow, it is his kidney. So he got so bad, my dog got so bad, it got to the point where we had to take him to a specialist. You know, so we couldn't take him to our normal doctor. We had to take him to a specialist because he needed emergency attention because we didn't know what was going on. He was getting worse and worse. You know, the prostate was getting better. So then finally, once again, we go to the specialist, and naturally, they want to run the same damn tests that we've been getting, you know, we've been paying hundreds of dollars for already. So once again, another $700 just to run the test. There's no medicine prescribed yet. There's no surgery or anything like that done or anything. Well, they can't even do organ transplant on dogs or anything like that. But what I'm saying is there's no attention actually being given to solving the issue. You're already 700 to thousands of dollars you already paid to them, and there was no attention given to solving the issue. So imagine that, right? So now she comes back, she runs the test, runs $600, hundreds and hundreds of dollars paid to her. She runs the test only to tell us that basically she wouldn't be mad if we were considering euthanasia. You know, she wouldn't be mad if we were considering putting him down. Now, at this point, my heart sank. You know, naturally, I felt helpless because I'm like, I've been taking this dog for months on end to the doctor. If these people would have just told me the right thing from the beginning, instead of constantly having us come back for the same test, not telling us anything new, this dog could have been healthy already. This dog could have been happy already. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, it was like down to the wire decisions to be made, because she said that, now this doctor was a little bit more honest, but at this point it was like such an emergency. She said, well, you know, you can spend $5,000, $10,000 on this dog at this point, and we can't guarantee that he's gonna be okay. And that hurt, you know, that kind of ripped the heart from me when I heard that, because it was like, damn, I wish the other vet was nice enough just to tell us what was going on. At least we could have, you know, went about how we were gonna take care of the dog and make sure that his kidneys were fine. So we see this all the time, where it's like the healthcare system, sometimes I feel like they should drop the word care from it and just call it the health system. You know what I'm saying? Because do they really care, or is it really about money? Because just to be real with you, if it's me and I have a knowledge base where my decision is a life or death decision for somebody else, and even if they don't have all the means, and they come to me and they don't have all the means, but they're in dire need to save their life, and I have the expertise and the knowledge to do that, just the human in me, just the morale in the situation, I would help that person with no money. I wouldn't ask for no money. I would help that person for free, because that's just a humane thing to do. You get what I'm trying to say? But especially with this vaccine and the force that they've been putting on society over the last, I don't know how many years, 2-3 years, even with that, you can see how they were pressuring people to take something, but people have a right to not want to ingest something and put something in their body. You know, and that's another thing that made me say, is it really about healthcare? Was it really about that? Was it really about what they said it was about? Because a lot of people, I know a lot of people who got the vaccine and they're having problems today. A lot of health issues today. It might be on the low. Matter of fact, drop a comment below. Drop a comment below if you know anybody who's dealing with any issues since getting the vaccine. Because I know people who have been experiencing some, and young people too. Young people have been experiencing some bizarre stuff. You know what I mean? So, and even with that, if you look at the people who were behind the push of that vaccine, a lot of these people in the past, these powerful people behind the healthcare field, a lot of these people, I'm not going to go mention any names and go deep into it or anything like that, but a lot of these people in the past were the very same people who invested into things and were behind things that hurt people. Yes, they were behind things that actually caused people to die. A lot of the very same people, the powers that be behind the push of the vaccine, and then that makes me raise my next question. Well, how much money did you guys have invested into this whole thing? How much money was invested into this vaccine before it was even a thing? Nobody thinks about it from that angle. But if you think about it from that angle, like how much billions of dollars, whose millions of dollars were invested into this thing before it was launched? And then you get to see things from a whole new light. So, I feel for this young lady right here. I understand. Don't get me wrong. I have experienced coming across great doctors, good doctors, genuine doctors, even holistic doctors. And I see how people in their field their fellow doctors. They shun them. I've even seen a doctor get kicked out of a doctor's office for being too real with his clients, being honest with them about what the best steps they should take, because he wasn't money hungry, because he wasn't just about money, 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 and was telling people some of the real truthful things they can do to improve their health. The doctor's office shunned him. They didn't want him working there anymore because he didn't fit the status quo, because he didn't fit the mold of making money. You see, back a long time ago, they would use even strategies like prayer, you know, natural remedies, and even sorcery they would use sometime back in the days to help somebody become healthy again. And some of it worked. Now it's just a focus on just surgery, cutting, money. That's all the focus on. There's really very little care about the actual people. There's very little care about the actual family members of the people who are dealing with what they're dealing with in the doctor's office. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not much empathy if you don't have money. So if there's no empathy without money, then there's never no empathy to begin with. You know what I'm saying? And this is in this type of in this avenue. Now, I'm not saying that professionals shouldn't get paid and don't deserve to get money. That would be the wrong message for me to share. That ain't what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, in a situation where it's life and death for a person and they may not have the means to pay for something that can save their life, I feel like the moral and humane thing to do is to do it anyway to help them. That's just my opinion on it. That's just how I feel about it. And if you look at the 9-to-5 thing, most jobs, they provide benefits so people can have more affordable health care, right? But what about entrepreneurs? What about a person who doesn't have a 9-to-5 job? What about a person who's investing their money and stuff like that? What about that type of person? You know what I'm saying? So you start to see how systematically things are put in place and designed to help certain people while taking away from others. We see this all the time. You know, and it becomes evident that the only struggle there is that's here is a power struggle for more money, more gain, more power. You know, don't tell the people the truth. If they know the truth, we're not gonna make any money. Use your medulla. Use your medulla. Drop a comment below letting me know your experience with the healthcare field, if you've had any bizarre experience or any experience where it's just kind of hit you that you feel like they don't really care about the people, you know? And, you know, just let me know. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear your experience, even if it's with a pet you had, because that was the most hurtful thing for me, is it was experiencing that with my pets that passed away this year, because I felt really hopeless. I felt helpless. I felt really helpless in the situation, because part of it was just a lack of knowledge of knowing what was wrong with my dog, and the other part of it was just being drained financially just to run some tests, and there was no problem, no medicine given to the dog, nothing being done to the dog to fix the actual problem. And just to think, not only dogs are dealing with this, you have people dealing with this every single day. And then they show you on the channel, you know, they show you the pets and the cats that are suffering, and they tell you to send money to the pets and the cats. But yet y'all put all this damn money into the commercial. You showing me this dog that's starving on the damn TV. You got that camera on that dog telling people, regular everyday people, to send money for that damn dog. Why don't y'all rich folk who's shooting the damn commercial, why don't y'all help the damn dog? The dog is right there. Help the dog. Feed the dog. Y'all got millions of dollars. I mean, come on. Come on. Look, this is the problem with the healthcare today, if you ask me. I think it's money hungry and money driven only, and becoming less and less humane. You do have some humane people in the healthcare field, doctors and nurses alike, who really care about people's well-being, and they really got a true love and passion for their work. I'm not talking about you guys. You guys are beautiful. Y'all are angels, and I really appreciate you. But there is something else going on where, you know, you're working within a regime where, to me, if you ask me, morality comes second to the well-being of the people. All right, y'all. I'm going to see y'all in the next video. This is Jon Belcher. Peace.